Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous coming to you with some Grandmaster lead Gosu out of the map The Shattered Temple. Spawning up here in the top corner position, we have MillStephano, the French Zerg, that is also red. And spawning over here in the left position, we have LMntStallion, our resident Grandmaster champion, as the blue Terran. So, yeah, LMntStallion apparently has a scary dog profile, which I'm guessing is just the Predator. And the Predator is a scary dog, and Stephano is apparently psyched out by that. You know, dogs can be very scary to certain people, and I wonder if Stephano is actually afraid of dogs. That's the main question that pops up into my head here. You will notice that this game is slightly older because there's still close spawn Sunken Temple, or Shattered Temple, I mean, and I'm fairly sure they took this out because it was kind of OP for Terran. Yeah, it was not the most balanced map. So I think they would take that out like a season or two ago. Now they're actually just removing the map altogether. So that is, of course, extremely interesting. Stephano, I do believe, was at the MLG Winter Championship the other weekend, the 25th, the weekend of the 25th. And I'm going to give away spoilers right now, so if you don't want spoilers, just mute me for like 15 seconds and then come back. And I think he got taken out by Pultz in the open bracket, pretty near the end of the open bracket, actually. I think he was in like the 4th round of the open bracket. So he was pretty close to being, you know, done and out of it, and he got taken out. And oh my god, did Stephano just sniped the, Stephano just sniped an SCV with his probe. What a champ. Man, that drone is such a predator. Are all drones called predators when they're born? Why? I think drones should start out as just like gatherers or harvesters for rank, and then if they get a kill, they become a predator. They just like get lasers coming out of their eyes and like missiles on their arms that they can't shoot. It's just like an aesthetic change. They just become predator drones. Oh, that would be awesome. It'd be even better if they like shot like missiles that you could control. Wow. That was like one of the weirdest tangents I've ever imagined. Just predator drones in StarCraft. Anyway, we have Stephano going for the extractor and the spawning pool. The champion drone is returning back home with a golden diamondy thing. So that's definitely going to be worth a lot to his base. I think it's like 7 minerals. Yeah, what a boss. Anyway, we have the spawning pool wrapping up, and Stephano got his gas reasonably late, so there is not going to be real speed as soon as this finishes, or really anytime close to when it finished. So yeah, we have LMntStallion going for that factory very early on. It looks like there was a pause there. Stephano was probably lagging, or LMntStallion was lagging or something. So we have the barracks wrapping off, the factory going up. I like the positioning of these Marines because it's going to prevent scouting on this factory, and that's really what you want in this position. Even if Stephano tries to swing in here with a pair of Zerglings, these Zerglings are going to die before they get anywhere close to the ramp because they don't have speed yet. So it doesn't really matter. And we have Stephano going for a fast expand with a nice spine crawler right there at the front. However, these Marines are going to hit before that spine crawler finishes, and they might be able to do a little bit of damage. Is the Queen's in kind of a dangerous spot. He needs to pull drones to deal with this, so he does. There is going to be reasonable control from both players. 2 drones do go down for Stephano, so that's pretty annoying. However, that did buy enough time for the spine crawler to get up, and these units should not try to go into the main because they'll just get surrounded by Zerglings up there and die. We have speed about halfway complete for Stephano, and it looks like LMntStallion's just going on home. However, he's getting a tech lab on his factory. Ooh, scary. It looks like we might actually see some siege tank play, and also a lot more Hellions. We have double fact out of LMntStallion, and siege tank pushes are really strong, really strong in these positions. That's basically what I was talking about when I said that Terrans were a bit OP when it comes to like these positions, because siege tank pushes are insane. But Stephano is playing pretty amazingly. As he usually does. He has another spine crawler coming down along with an Evo chamber, so he's probably going to be going for upgrades fairly soon. Yeah. we have Hellions and Marines happening up there, and it looks like, ooh, there we go. Reactive Hellions now. Are we going to see Blue Flame at some point? Oh, Blue Flame. We're going to see Blue Flame right now. Not at some point. No, right now. And it looks like he's actually going to go up to 3 factories on 1 base. This is... He kind of doesn't have the option to expand at this point. I feel like LMntStallion's pretty all in because he's been on 1 base for quite a while. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him lift off, drop the tech lap, and then just start, and then get siege mode, and then just start making tanks like a madman. Yep, there's siege mode, there's the first siege tank, there's the second siege tank, so there's going to be double siege tank production along with double Hellion production, along with Blue Flame and siege mode. That's pretty freaking scary for Stephano at this point. He does have oh god, wow, those Hellions were really ballsy. Anyway, Stephano does have a lot of Zerglings, and he has a pretty nice defendable front right here. However, siege tanks can come here and then range this entire area. It's kind of like how the little, not islands, but the little ridges used to be on this map, where like if a Terran went for really fast medevacs and then dropped siege tanks on that ridge, they just won the game outright. And with only Zerglings, he kind of needed roaches at this point to hold this off, because with only Zerglings and with such a great position on the siege tanks, where the Zerglings would need to come down and swing around and go through the Hellions, it's not going to happen. I would be surprised to see Stephano get out of this alive. It's kind of anticlimactic, you know, as a game. However, that's kind of just how... This is one of those things of why Shattered Temple was removed from the map pool. Now, so be it. LMntStallion. Come on, man. Really? LMntStallion. Come on. MillStephano saying that close positions are pretty easy. And saying that LMntStallion, that was well played by him, because it really was. This was one of those maps that, this was kind of what Terran did. It just was. And I think this is one of those things of why it was removed from the map pool, because people were like, wait a second, Terran's OP on this map, even though ever since they removed close positions, it's not that favorable for Terran. I mean, you can still swing around and get this position, but then the Zerg can just send Zerglings at your base via this way, instead of you being able to like control this entire area with just siege tanks positioned here and a couple Hellions here. Anyway, guys, if you want any more Boisterous action, you can head on over to youtube.com/user/BoisterousSC2. If you want your games commentated by Boisterous, you can send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com. And if you have it, and I'm planning on kicking up commentating a lot more during the summer. So if you have any ideas on stuff you want me to do, I have a couple of things that I'm kicking around with some people to see if I can get them to collaborate with me on them. So I'm working on stuff, but it's always nice to have input from the community. So if you have any suggestions at all, just send them to boisteroussc2@gmail.com, or post them in my Battle.net forum thread, or post them in comments for my channel or videos. And remember to tell all your friends to check out Boisterous SC2 and subscribe. Be nice people. Yeah. This is Boisterous, signing out.